Now at 5:37, two men are in jail this morning, including an up-and-coming Florida rapper. Both men are charged in a double murder. Police are saying the two staged a crime scene to make it look like a drive-by shooting. CBS 4's Carly Barnett is live at the Broward County Jail in Fort Lauderdale with more. Carly.
Spotify Studios and Complex recently launched the latest episode to their podcast documentary on Melly's case. Here are a couple of the notes that I got from that episode. 2 months after he turned himself in, the state of Florida said that they would be pursuing the death penalty on his case. They said that Melly's crime had several aggravating factors. It was cruel, premeditated murder committed for financial gain. Melly's mom went on Instagram Live listening to Melly's music after receiving the news about death penalty. Melly became the second rapper possibly facing death penalty. On March 2020, Melly had his first court appearance since he had turned himself in. Melly looked happy, acting unfazed of the charges being brought against him. The pandemic happened and Melly contracted the virus. Melly's manager, Track, was in a meeting with prosecutors not long after Melly turned himself in. Track was trying to convince them that Melly wasn't on the run, but touring. To help make his case, Track brought Melly's phone to show them proof. Prosecutors saw the phone and wanted to know what was on it. They gave Melly's manager a warrant for the phone, and he had to hand it over. A video Melly recorded of himself a month after Sakchaser And Juvy's death was, Melly is delivering a cryptic message, something to do with two people dying. The prosecutor played it at Bortland's hearing. The hearing was about Bortland and had nothing to do with Melly's situation, so the media paid it no mind. No one in the media picked it up until October 2020. That's when Sakchaser and Juvy's families filed civil suits against Melly and Bortland. Juvy's lawyer, John Phillips, tried to get his hands on the video of Melly. Melly, Bortland, and his prosecutors didn't want to let him. This led to a fight that brought attention to the video and the media. In the video, Melly is heard saying, "There is no regrets for what I did." He takes a pin and puts it to his head in the shape of a gun, like he's pulling a trigger. They say he alleged he threw up a gang sign afterwards and said, "Both of them." The video is of Melly saying there's no regrets for what I did to that nigga to die. Both of them. Never say when. Melly never says a name, but this video was recorded just a month after the murders of Sakchaser and Juvy. Prosecutors are saying it's Melly admitting to shooting two people in the head. Melly is still acting unconcerned by this. A lawyer says that there are a couple of reasons why Melly may be found not guilty. One of the reasons is that there is no murder weapon. Despite eyewitness testimony about Track hiding a murder weapon, cops couldn't find any. There's also no DNA evidence attached to Melly because there's no murder weapon. They tested Bortland's hands for gun residue and couldn't find any. There's no witnesses other than Melly and Bortland. In a court filing, Melly's mom, Jamie, said that there's evidence to prove Melly and Bortland didn't do it. Another thing is how Miramar police dealt with Bortland and Melly aggressively. They threatened Melly's manager with his immigration status in an attempt to get information. Part of proving reasonable doubt is creating room for alternative scenarios. One of Melly's lawyers had an idea about that. 3 months after Melly turned himself in, his lawyer wrote a motion trying to get him out on bond. Within that motion, there is one sentence that they may try to use to get him out. It goes, "There is also no evidence to suggest that no one else entered that vehicle at some point after they left the recording studio," suggesting a theory that there may have been a third man in the car that shot and killed Sakchaser And Juvy. One of Melly's lawyers offered a statement about the video of Melly. Prosecutors are calling a confession. Quote and unquote. Both in and out of court, Broward County prosecutors have frequently referred to a video taken on an iPhone as a quote and unquote confession by Jamel Demons, the artist known as Ynw Melly. It's clear prosecutors believe this is a key piece of evidence in this case. In reality, this is a so-called quote unquote confession video features Melly doing what many fans do, repeating the lyrics of a favorite song by one of his favorite artists. This song, 4:30 a.m. by Kevin Gates. Back in Gifford, Ynw Bortland's father was shot by one of Juvy's best friends. Some have decided to take matters into their own hands.